Well, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is going to be a game of Uptempo Basketball. So I've just released the newest season, 2023-24. So you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and pick that up. There should be a link on the front page in the new releases section for this season. I'll also put a link down in the description of this video, and that'll send you directly to the Uptempo Basketball page. I'm going to replay tonight's game. So this is Boston at Dallas, and this will be finals game number 3. Boston's up 2-0, and we'll see if they can go into Dallas and take a game or not. We got all of our rosters filled out. I'm going to be playing this a little bit differently than before. I won't be using the clock, I'll be using possessions. So each team is going to have 49 possessions per half. So it came out to 98 possessions, and the way I figure that is pace. So 97 plus 100, divide that by 2, and then that should give you the number of possessions per game for each team, and it came out to 98. And so that in half is 49, which theoretically should give us half and half possessions. So half of 49, 24 and 25, 24 and 25, and that should be a half, right? So when you do the math, you do pace divided by 2, and then that number divided by 2. So that's your average number between the two teams, and then you cut that average in half, and that should give you how many per quarter for both teams total, which is all that we really care about in this scenario. If you are doing the typical pace, like I'm doing pace like this because of one thing. I'm going to roll for every 2-pointer and 3-pointer. So there are automatic ones in here. So the and 1 is going to be an automatic 2, and then I'll roll for the free throw. But typically, there's, 10, 15? There are 15 2-pointers in here that are just automated. There are 13, 14 3-pointers that are automated. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to roll whether it's a 3-point attempt or a 3-point shot, whether it's a 2-point attempt or a 2-point shot. And then obviously for all free throws, we're rolling anyway. And so, sorry, my die rolled away. And so anyway, we're going to roll for 3-pointers and 2-pointers. I'm going to use only team defense. So for the Celtics, there will be no adjustments. For the Mavericks, there's going to be a -3 adjustment on all of their shots. And I'm going to use these 2 die primarily. So this is going to be a D100 and a D10. So it's going to give us our primary numbers here. And then I'll use the percentile die as well, and we'll just be like super exact. So if it's 83.3 on his free throws and he has an 83.1, that's good. If it's 83.9, then it's no good. So we'll be a little more exact in this one. And you can be as exact or not as you want in this game. So because we've eliminated almost all of the automated 2-pointers and 3-pointers, we need more possessions per game. I cut the possessions down. So instead of 49, typically this game would be at 30 something. And I do that because 1, the scoring runs, 2, there are automated 3-pointers and 2-pointers in the game. And so that tends to, you get really inflated scores if you have the automated 2-pointers, but you don't have enough possessions. And then if you don't have enough, if you have the same fewer number of possessions, but you're rolling for everything, you tend to get lower scores. So it's sort of a matter, so this becomes a more traditional kind of game the way I'm going to play it now, which is totally possible. All the numbers are there for you to play sort of a traditional style where you roll for every make, right? So that's a big introduction to what we're going to do. I got my score sheet here. This is if you haven't seen Uptempo Basketball before, which I haven't put too much on the channel, so I'll play a little bit more. This is your running score for home and away and home. We have our turnovers that we'll just keep track of over here. We've got all of our first quarter scoring here, and basically we're just keeping track of scoring. I like to keep track of turnovers. You have a little notes section. You can keep track of field goal percentages or whatever you want to keep track of. And then we have our total score up here. All right, and you can't see it over here very well, but we have our, I'm going to use the pace. So we have our quarters. We are going to be at 49 per, and I'm going to try to remember to go down instead of up. And so that's going to be our pace numbers there. So you won't see that on the screen very well, but I will be keeping track of that. And then over here, this will just be, it helps me to keep track of like who has the ball and which team to look on. So let's go for the let's go for the tip first. I'll just roll 2 d10s for the tip. This is the away team, this is the home team, and so the away team wins the tip. It's going to be Boston first with the ball. And I'm only going to roll the percentile die when I need it. Right now I don't really need it, so we'll see if we do. 62, that's going to be a 2-point attempt, and that will come from, and the way we read it is we look at the 2-pointers here, and our roll is a 27, so it's going to be Jaylen Brown with a 2-point attempt. He's a 57. It's a 74, and that's going to be a miss right offhand for Jaylen Brown. So anything below that shooting percentage number is going to be a make, and anything above is going to be a miss. So that's a 5. A 5 is a turnover. So for both of these teams, they have a scoring run of 1 to 3. They're two of the best teams in the league. If you're a top 10 team in the league, you get a 1 to 3. Middle 10 teams is 1 to 2 for the scoring runs, and then the bottom teams are a 1. So you get 1 chance at a scoring run. It's a 75. It's another 2-point bucket. This goes to Jaylen Brown again. He's a 57. There's no adjustment here because Dallas's defense is 0. That means they don't adjust your shooting percentages. So Jaylen Brown quickly 0 for 2. I think we should be here. We didn't do the Dallas Mavericks turnover. So this is going to be a 21. A 21 is free throw attempts. That goes to, and then when we have free throw attempts, we look here under the free throws. And a 34 is going to be Luka. Luka is a 78.6 shooter. So he's going to make the first. And he misses a second. So get a make and a miss. And that's our first scoring of the game. So 1-0 is our score. 26 is going to be free throws for the Celtics. That goes to 86. That's going to be Porzingis to the line. He's an 85.8 free throw shooter. He makes the first, and he makes the second. So two to 1 is our score. Dallas with the ball. A 96 is going to be a 3-point attempt. You can see here that this is our initial roll. We're looking at, what does that initial roll fall under? So 89 to 100 is typically a 3-point make, but this time we're shooting for all threes. A 76 is going to be, that falls in on the 3-point range under Josh Green. So Josh Green with the 3. And we're going to adjust his by a 3. So 38.5 becomes 35.5. And Green with the miss on the 3-pointer. When you play it this way, there's a few more moving parts, but it's okay. So we got a 3-point shot, and that comes from Jason Tatum. So Tatum is a 37.6% shooter, and he is going to miss as well. So Tatum with the miss. Everybody's starting out a little bit cold. I mean, one thing you're going to notice here is that everyone's going to try to shoot. They're basically going to be shooting around their shooting percentage. So it's not going to be quite as many makes. And this one's going to feel a little bit more like maybe a traditional game. A 3. We have a 3, a 0-3. That's going to be a run. So that's a scoring run for the Mavericks. Now we need to roll for what type of run it is. It's a 66. 66 is a 6-0 run for Dallas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I like to just mark my scoring runs here. And then we need to roll for, on our scoring runs cards here, we have the 6-0 run. It's a 95, and that falls into this range here. So there's going to be 2 free throws makes for the small forward, and then 2 buckets for the power forward. I typically like to just give these to the starters. So that's going to be Dallas. The small forward is Hardaway. He's got 2 free throws. And the power forward, Williams, with 2 buckets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Celtics get the ball. We take 6 possessions off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when I was figuring all these out, you know, it's basically, you can keep the 6 possessions. That's fine. That's what you typically do with the pace. You could do 5 or 6. It kind of falls in between. All right, so Boston with the ball, 74, is going to be a 3-point attempt. That comes from 31 is Jaylen Brown with the 3. It's a 35.4 for a make, and that's a 3, and that's up and in. So Jaylen Brown from downtown, as he hits, he's, oh, that should be 3. I saw those X's on there. I think I just subliminally wanted to put an X. So, but he's got a 3. 72 for the Mavs coming back the other way. That's going to be another 3-point attempt for them. That will be a 39 goes to Kyrie Irving. So Kyrie with the 3 attempt. He's going to be a 38.1, and that's off the mark as Irving misses his first shot. 67 right at a 3-point attempt for Dallas, and an 11 is Derek White with the 3. 39.6 is going to be good, and Derek White is off the mark. So scoring a little slow in this one, as we got a 7-5 lead for Dallas. Dallas has the ball. 47 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That 2-pointer is going to come from Josh Green. Green is he's going to be a 54.2 to make, and he is off the mark. Good defense by the Celtics. That's really been the name of the game in this series so far. It's just the Celtics defense just all over everybody, especially Kyrie, not able to get anything going. This free throw attempts for Boston, a 42 is going to be Jason Tatum to the line. He's going to make the first. He's an 83.3% shooter. He'll make the second. So Tatum on the board for his first 2 of the game. And that will even the score at 7. 31 possessions left here in the first quarter. 36 is a 2-point attempt. That will come from Dante Exum. Exum a 52.7 on his shooting, and he's off the mark as well. So cold shooting so far for Dallas. 30 possessions left in the quarter. 13 is going to be a turnover for Boston. Anything 1 to 15 or 4 to 15 is a turnover. And for Dallas, it's the same thing, 4 to 15. 72, this is going to be a 3-point attempt. That comes from Max Kleber. Maxi Kleber. He's a 34.8% shooting from 3, and he's going to miss. So cold shooting from the 3-point line so far for the Mavs. Boston with the ball. 92 is going to be a 3-point shot for them as well. 45 is Jason Tatum, 37.6, and he is off the mark from 3. Dallas with the ball coming back, 32. That's a 2-point attempt. That comes from Derrick Jones Jr. He's going to be a 58.3%, and Derrick Jones lays it in for 2. And the Mavericks have a 9-7 lead now over Boston. 51, that'll be a 2-point attempt. And that comes from Sam Hauser. It's 55.9, and that's a 19. So Sam Hauser puts in the jumper and knots the score at 9. Dallas with the ball coming back down the floor. 9-9, our score early on in this one. 85 is going to be a 3-point shot, and that comes from 76. That'll be Josh Green for 3. He's going to be a 35.5. It's a 33.3, and Josh Green is true from downtown as he bangs the 3 home. And that gives Dallas a 3-point lead. 12-9 is our score. A 0-4, that's going to be a turnover to the Celtics. Second turnover of the game for them. And Dallas with the ball and another 3-point attempt. This will be a 3-pointer from Dante Exum, 46.1, and that's a 0-8. And Exum, true from downtown as well, as Dallas starting to heat up from the 3-point line. They take a 15-9 lead over the Celtics at home, trying to get on the board in the series. They're down 2-0. This is game 3, a game 3 replay. 65 is going to be a 2-point attempt. A 40 is going to be Jaylen Brown. He's a 1-57 to make, and he is just off the mark in this one, as he's got 3 points, but he's only 1 of 4 shooting. And coming back the other way is Dallas. Another 3-point shot here. This comes from Grant Williams. He's going to be a 34.6. It's a 24, and even the power forward banging it home. He's got 7 early points in this one. We got 20 possessions left in the quarter. And a 53 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That goes to a 99. So 99. That's Luke Cornett. 69.8 to make, and Luke Cornett puts it up and in for the bucket. Haven't heard much from Al Horford in this game. So we'll see how the game plays out and how he gets into it scoring-wise. 45 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Derrick Jones Jr. He's going to be a 58.3 to make, and he misses. Ball back to the Celtics. They're down 18-11 to start in this one. A 14 is going to be a turnover to the Celtics. Third turnover of the game for Boston. Dallas not really known for their defense, but putting it on them here. A 41 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Josh Green. He's a 54.2, and Josh Green is up and in. He's got 5 in the first quarter. And that stretches the lead to 9. Dallas over Boston. A 19 is going to be free throw attempts for the Celtics. 21 will be Jaylen Brown to the line. He's a 70.3 shooter. 72.9 is going to be a miss. And 61 he makes. So we got a miss and a make. Cuts into the lead just a little bit. 20 to 12, 8-point lead for the Mavs. This will be another 3-point opportunity for Dallas. That comes from Josh Green. He's going to be a 35.5 with the defense adjustment. It's a 39 and he's going to miss. So he's now 1 for 3 from 3-point land. 66 is right at the edge of the 2-point attempts. So 2-point attempt here. That comes from Luke Cornett. 69.8 for the make, and Cornett's got a couple of buckets here in the first quarter. Our score is 20 to 14 as the Celtics starting to cut into the lead a little bit. This is a 3-point shot for Dallas. That comes from Luka. Luka will be a 35.2 with the defensive adjustment, and he misses on his first 3. Ball back to the Celtics. 25 is going to be free throws, as a 3 sends Drew Holiday to the line. He's an 83.3% shooter. He'll make the first, and he'll make the second as he gets on the board with his first points of the game. The lead now 20 to 16, 11 possessions left in the first quarter. Moving right along here. 47 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That'll go to a 92. That's PJ Washington. And he'll be a 52.6 to make. And PJ Washington gets on the board with a bucket and breaks the schneid as Dallas stretches the lead to 22-16, 6-point lead. Boston with the ball. A 6 is going to be another turnover. Turnover number 4 for Boston. Only 1 turnover so far for the Mavericks. And Dallas looking good in the first quarter here. 82 is going to be a 3-point attempt. That comes from Tim Hardaway Jr. He is a 32.3 to make, and he is off the mark on his first field goal attempt. 8 possessions left in the quarter. 82 is going to be a 3-point attempt for Boston. A 52. Jason Tatum, 37.6 from the 3-point line, and he is true as he hits nothing but the bottom of the net on that 3. He's now 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. And that cuts the lead to 3 getting toward the end of the first quarter. We've got about 2 minutes left or so in the first quarter. 0-3. That's going to be another scoring run for Dallas. That scoring run is a 6-0 run again, and that's going to end, it's going to take us down to the last possession, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6-0 scoring run. Let's see how that one shakes out. It's a 56, and this time it'll be this middle one. So 2 free throws for the shooting guard, and then a 4-point play for the small forward. So Kyrie Irving with a couple of free throws. And the rare 4-point play. A 3, he's fouled, and he hits the shot. So we take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that takes us down to the last possession of the quarter. And it will be a 99. 99 is a 3-point shot. So with time running down, it's going to be Peyton Pritchard with the 3-pointer. It's up and no good. So that's going to take us to the second quarter. That was 49 possessions. And let's go ahead and tally up things here. So it's 2 points here, 2 there, 3, 4, 0, 5, 2, and 4. So 2, 4, 8, 13, 15, 19. 19 is what we got, so that's good. I like to just kind of double check things with the scoring. Make sure I've got it all right. So 6 points for Hardaway. 2, 4, 7 for Williams. So 4, 6, 11, 17, 19, 26, 28, and 28 is what we got. So good on the scoring, and just like to keep our totals here. Makes it easy to just kind of total everything up as you go along. You can see that there's usually plenty of space here. Sometimes when you have a Jordan type who's going to score a lot of points, he'll start filling up most of those. I've never run into it that you have to kind of go to another line, but I guess that'd be a good thing to run into. Mavs ball coming out of the quarter. It'll be a 36. A 36 is a 2-point attempt. That's going to come from Luka. Luka, a 1 to 54, 54.3, and he's going to be up and in as he starts the second quarter with a bang. And our score, just as we start the second quarter, 30 to 19, the Mavs over the Celtics. The Mavs already with 2 6-0 scoring runs in this one has put themselves in a good position so far in the first half. 79 will be a 3-point attempt. That comes from Sam Hauser. He's a 1 to 42. It's a 47, and Sam Hauser is off the mark. He's got a bucket in this game, but he misses his first shot in the second quarter, and it'll be a 95. That's also a 3-point shot for the Mavs. This time it comes from a 14 is going to be for Luka. So Luka asserting himself. He's a 35.2 to make, and it's a 23. And Luka Doncic starting to heat up here as the Mavs stretch their lead to 12. An 11 is going to be a turnover. 5th turnover of the game for Boston. I suppose Boston is destined to have a clunker somewhere along the way, but they have a 1 to 3 on their scoring runs. They're definitely not out of this game. 89, another 3-point shot. That's going to go to PJ Washington. He's a 28.4 to make with the defensive adjustment, and he is true as he's got 5 in the game now. The Mavs starting to bomb out the Celtics. Celtics need to pick it up and get a response here. 17 is free throws, and 47 will be free throws to Jason Tatum. He's an 83.3. He misses the first, and he makes the second. Tatum with his 6th point. 36-20 is our score. Dallas with the ball. We are early in the second quarter. 39 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Kyrie. He's a 51.8 to make. This is a 17, and Kyrie Irving has his 4th point of the game. 38-20 is our score. 57 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Jaylen Brown. He's a 1 to 57 to make, and Jaylen Brown on the board in the second quarter. He's got 6 in the game. The deficit now 16 for Boston. A 59 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Josh Green. It'll be a 54.7 to make. It's an 84, so Green is off the mark. And Boston coming back with the ball. 77 is a 3-point shot. That's going to come from Sam Hauser again. 42.4 to make, and Sam Hauser drains it for the 3. 1 for 2 in this quarter, and that will definitely help dig into the deficit. The score is now 38-25, so 13-point lead for the Mavs. 28 is going to be free throws, and that will go to Luka. He's a 78.6. He's going to make the first, and he'll make the second. And the Mavs are the first to 40. Our score is 40-25. Dallas over the Celtics. Celtics with the ball, 65. Is going to be a 2-point attempt. That goes to Luke Cornett. 69.8 to make, and he is off the mark. Cornett with 4 points, but he misses there. Dallas comes back down the floor. They're going to have a 3-point shot. That comes from Kyrie Irving. Irving is going to be a 38.1 to make, and Kyrie Irving off the mat in this one as he's got 7 in the first half. $47 is going to be an and one. Okay, so let's see who the player is. The player is going to be Drew Holiday. No, Derek White. So White with the 2-pointer. And let's see about the free throw. His free throw percentage is 90.1, and that's a 39. So no problem there for Derek White as he converts the traditional 3-point play. 35 possessions left in the half. We got a 79. That's going to be a 3-point shot for the Mavs. A 20 is going to be to Luka. He's a 35.2 to make, and it's a 70, so he's off the mark for the first time in the second quarter. Back down the floor comes the Celtics. 21 will be free throws, and those will go to Jason Tatum. He's an 83.3% shooter, makes the first, and he makes the second. So Jason Tatum with 3 points here in the second quarter. He's got 8 for the game. The lead is now 43-30, so 13 points for the Mavs. 47, ooh, almost a and one there, but it'll be a 45. That's Kyrie Irving with the 2-point attempt. He'll be a 51.8, and it's an 80. So Kyrie off the mark for the first time in the second quarter. Boston with the ball coming back down the floor. 53 is going to be another 2-pointer. That comes from Jaylen Brown, 1-57 for a make. It's a 90, and Jaylen Brown has just been mostly off this game. He's only got 6 points. And Dallas coming back the other way with the ball, 66. That's a 2-pointer. And it'll be shot by Derrick Jones Jr. It'll be a 58.3 to make, and he is true as Derrick Jones has 4 points in the game. The lead now 45-30. Dallas over Boston. 89, we get a 3-point shot from the Celtics. That'll be Derek White from 3. Oh, 39.6 to make. And it's a 15, and Derek White drains it from the corner. He's perfect in this quarter. And that cuts the lead to 12. Dallas with a 12-point lead in the ball. A 97 is going to be a 3. And that 3 ball is going to come from P.J. Washington. He's a 28.4% to make after the adjustment. And P.J. misses his first 3 of the game. 28 possessions left in the half. Boston with the ball. They're down by 12. And it's a 29. 29 is going to be free throw attempts. That comes from Jason Tatum. Good free throw shooter, 83%. So he'll make the first, and he will make the second. So Tatum not getting a lot of shots from the floor, but he does have several free throw attempts. And we have a 20. A 20 is going to be free throw attempts for the Mavs. 9 will be Luka to the line, 78.6% free throw shooter. First one is good. Second one is good. And Luka with 2, 4, 7, 9 points here in the second quarter, 10 overall. As he's leading the charge for the Mavericks. Yet to hear from Grant Williams, who had 7 in the first quarter, but we'll see how that goes. More free throws for the Celtics. This goes to 66 is Peyton Pritchard. He's an 82% free throw shooter. He makes the first. And he misses the second. So Boston not catching too many breaks with the dice in this one. No scoring runs yet for the Celtics. A 52 is going to be a 2-point attempt for the Mavs. 94, that's going to come from PJ Washington. He'll be a 52.6 to make, and he is up and in, and he's got 5 in the quarter. 49-36, the lead is back to 13 for Dallas. A 46 is going to be an and one. Let's see who takes that shot. It will be Sam Hauser. Hauser with the bucket. He'll go to the line. He is an 89.5% free throw shooter, and he converts the traditional three-point play. And that cuts the lead to 10. So 49-39, Dallas over Boston. We've got about half our possessions left in the second quarter. We got a 50. A 50 is an and one to Dallas, and it goes to Josh Green. So Josh Green gets to the bucket, and he can complete this with a 68.4 roll. That is, I think we're going to count that as a 100. So that's going to be a miss. All zeros needs to be a 100, right? So he misses that one, but he does get the bucket. Boston down by, 51-39, 12-point lead for the Mavs. Boston in the deficit. A 67 is going to be a 3-point attempt. That comes from Sam Hauser. He's a 42.4 to make, and he misses again. Sam Hauser just 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. Boston just can't get that big moment together. A 3-point shot from the Mavs. And 86 will be Derek Jones Jr. He's a 31.3 after the adjustment, and he will make, or he misses as well. 20 possessions left in the half. 31 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Peyton Pritchard. 59.3 to make, and Pritchard puts in his first field goal of the game. He's got 3 overall. Celtics cut the lead to 10. They haven't gotten too much closer than 10 once Dallas kind of stretched things out. 36 is going to be a 2-point attempt for the Mavs, and that will be a shot from Derek Lively the second. So Lively is going to be a 72.2% shooter with the adjustment. He gets a lot of buckets around the rim, and he throws one down here on the alley-oop with the back pick, and that is Derek Lively with the slam home. And 53-41 is our score. 89 3-point shot for the Celtics. It is going to come from Drew Holiday. He's a 42.9 to make, and it is a 4. So Drew Holiday from downtown cuts into the lead. It's now 52-44. Sorry, 53-44. Dallas over the Celtics. 81, that'll be a 3-ball for Luka Doncic. He's a 1-35. That's going to be off the mark for Luka. His second 3-point miss in the quarter. He's just 1 for 4 from 3. 33 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Drew Holiday. Holiday feeling it. 52.9 for the make, and that's a 50. And Drew Holiday with 5 quick points. Cuts the lead to 7. 47, that's going to be a 2-point attempt for the Mavs. That comes from Luka. He's a 54.3, and 82 is off the mark as The Mavs having a hard time here as they're hitting the skids at the end of the half. 69. Celtics are feeling it. This is another 3-ball. This comes from Al Horford stepping out. 41.9 from the 3-point line, and his first field goal attempt is going to be off the mark. 13 possessions left. Dallas with the ball and the lead. This is going to be a 3-pointer. That comes from Tim Hardaway Jr. He's going to be a 32.3 to make, and he is way off the mark as well. So Dallas throwing up some bricks as they cannot hit. They've gone cold from the 3-point line. 62 is going to be a 2-pointer for Boston. That's going to come from Luke Cornett. 69.8 to make, and he is true. He's got 6 for the game, and the lead is now 3 points for the Mavs as Boston making a run here at the end of the half. 23, this is going to be free throws for Dallas. And that's going to be to P.J. Washington. Not a great free throw shooter. 62.7 for a make, but he puts the first in. And he puts the second in against all the odds. He makes the 2. And that maybe that'll get the Mavs going. I grew up about 2 hours south of Dallas. Listened to a lot of Mavs games. Those were like the Roy Tarpley, Ro Blackman kind of years back in the day. 70 is going to be a 3-point attempt for Boston. 38, the 3-pointer is going to come from Jason Tatum. He's a 37.6 to make, and he gets on track as Tatum from downtown. And the lead is now just 4 for Dallas. It ballooned to as much as 16. We have a 3-point attempt for Dallas. This is Luka from downtown, 35.2 to make. And Luka off the mark again. He's missed 3 threes, only 1 of 4 in the quarter. And Boston with a chance to cut farther into the lead. 39, that's going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Jason Tatum. He's a 54.2, and Jason Tatum's starting to feel it as well. He's got 5, 7, 9, 10 in the quarter. And the lead is now just 2. 7 possessions left in the first half. 65 is going to be a 2-point attempt. An 80, that'll come from Josh Green. He's going to be a 54.2 to make, and Josh Green stops the bleeding as he puts in the bucket at the rim. The lead back to 4 for Dallas. This one turning into a bit of a track meet. 36 is a 2-point attempt. That's going to come from Derek White. He's a 55.5% shooter as he takes it to the rack and he puts it in for the bucket. He's got 5, 8 for the quarter. So a nice quarter there for Derek White. 55-57 is our score. Dallas with the lead and the ball. 41 is going to be another 2-pointer. That comes from Tim Hardaway Jr. He's a 44.8 to make, and he'll be off the mark as he shoots a fadeaway, but that hits off the front iron. And Boston with the ball and a chance to tie or take the lead. A 97 is going to be a 3-ball. That's put up by Sam Hauser from deep, 42.4 to make, and he is just off the back iron. And Hauser now 1 for 4 in the quarter. 3 possessions left in the half. Boston down, but here is just the second turnover of the game for the Mavs. And Boston with a chance to tie or cut into the lead. 20-5 or 25 is going to be free throws. Those free throws are going to go to Jason Tatum. He's at 83.3 to make. He makes the first, and he makes the second. So Tatum now 2, 4, 6, 7 of 8 from the free throw line in this quarter. That ties the ball game at 57. There's 1 possession left in the quarter, and that's going to go to Dallas. Let's see what they do with it. 67 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Luka Doncic, who takes the last second shot. He'll be at a 53.3, and he hits it at the buzzer as Luka puts home the bucket to give the Mavs a 2-point lead at the half. And let me go ahead and total things up here. So 5, 7, 9, 11 points for Luka in the second. 5 for Kyrie. 4, 2, 2, 7, 2. Nice little quarter there for PJ Washington. And 5, 3, 5, 7, 8. 6, 2, 1, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12 for Jason Tatum in the second. So stars coming out to play in the second quarter. That's going to be 8, 16, 22, 24, 36, 38 points. Wow, what a quarter for Boston to get back into this one. 16, 20, 24, 31, 33. A really good quarter for Dallas as well. Let's see, 38 plus 19 is 49, 57, right? 57, that's correct. So 38 there. 33 plus what they had, so 50, 61. Did I miss something along the way? 16, 20, 22, 24, 31, 33. I'll just double check. 5, 7, 9, 11. 5, 2, 4. 5, 7, 2. Okay. So I must have missed one along the way. They should have 61. So 58, 61. That's why I do the double checking. I trust that I've applied everything here, and I don't always trust that I do the running score. So score at the half is going to be 61-57, so 4-point lead for Dallas. It's going to be Boston with the ball first in the second half, and we'll just continue on in this one. Make sure I got some time here. Should have enough time to finish up, so let's go ahead and finish this half. So 49 possessions again, and we reset everything. Boston comes out in the second half. They're down by 4. 75 is going to be a 3-point attempt from the Celtics right out of the gate. And 88 will be Porzingis from 3. 37.5 to make, and he's off the mark. As Porzingis with just 2 points in this one. Quite a difference from what he's been doing for most of the series. 19 is free throw attempts. Free throw attempts are going to go to Derrick Jones Jr., 71.3 to make, and he makes the first and the second. So Derrick Jones pushes the lead back out to 6. Boston coming back down the floor. This will be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Jaylen Brown. He's a 1-57 to make, and Jaylen Brown is true. His first shot of the second half goes in, and that cuts the lead back to 4. So the Mavs 4-point lead and the ball. 39 will be a 2-point shot for Dallas. A 17 is to Luka. He is a 1-54 to make, and he is off the mark with his first shot of the second half. Boston behind, but they have the ball. 37 is going to be a 2-pointer. That goes to Jaylen Brown. 1-57 to make, and Brown now 1 for 2 in the third as he misses on that shot. Dallas with the ball. Coming back the other way, a 53 is a 2-point shot. That will be taken by Dante Exum. He's a 52.7 to make, and he is true as Exum now with 5 points in the game. Stretches the lead back out to 65-59, so 6-point lead for the Mavs. This will be a turnover number 6. And turnovers have been a little bit of a bugaboo for Boston. 6-2 is the turnover battle, and Dallas doing a good job protecting the ball. 49 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Kyrie Irving. He's a 1-51 for a make, and Kyrie Irving starts the second half off well. He's got 9 points now for the game, and the lead is 67-59. 8-point lead for the Mavs. 32 is going to be a 2-point shot that comes from Jason Tatum. He's a 1-54 to make, and even Jason Tatum off in this second half. He's got 17 for the game, but he can't hit on the 2-point shot. It's Dallas coming back the other way. They're putting up a 3-ball. That's going to come from Grant Williams. Haven't heard from him for a while, but he is off the mark as Williams misses his first field goal attempt of the second half. 39 possessions left in the quarter. 30 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Jaylen Brown. He's a 1-57 to make, and Brown is off the mark again. Boston coming out of the halftime a little bit cold. 34 is a 2-point attempt. That comes from Luka. 1-54 for a make, and Luka finally hits as he's got 14 for the game, and he's the kind of player who can just take over. He's going to take a lot of shots. Is he going to make them? That's the question in this one. 63 is a 2-point bucket. That comes from Jason Tatum. Tatum is a 1-54 to make, and Tatum is off the mark. He's missed 2 here in the second half, and the lead is 10 points for the Mavs, and they have the ball right now. They've been in control basically the entire game. 2-point shot, that's going to come from Dante Exum. He's a 1-52 for a make, and he is true on that shot as he's got 4 here in the third quarter, and the lead stretches out to 12. Boston looking for an answer. This is a 3-point shot. That's going to come from Jaylen Brown. He's a 35.4 to make, and that one is off the mark as well. So Jaylen taking a lot of shots and not getting anything to go down. Dallas back with the ball. 67 will be a 2-point shot. 29, that comes from Kyrie Irving. He's a 1-51 to make, but he's off the mark. He's got 7. He's got 9 points for the game, but only 2 here in the third. We're early in the third. The score is 71-59. Dallas over Boston. Boston with a bit of a clunker here in the first half. They did fight back from a 16-point deficit, but the Mavs have come out pretty hot in the second quarter, or the second half, to stretch the lead. 26 is free throws. Those free throws are going to go to Porzingis. Good free throw shooter, 85.9, but he misses the first. 85.8, sorry. Misses the first, makes the second. And Porzingis with just 3 points in this one. Those are points that Boston is missing that they've had in those first 2 games. A 60 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Kyrie Irving. 51-51 to make. It's a 44, and Kyrie Irving puts in his 9, 11, 13th point. So Kyrie Irving coming to life at home against the Celtics, game 3. 53 will be a 2-point shot. That comes from Drew Holiday. Holiday 52.6 to make, and he's off the mark here in the third quarter. Boston continues their ice-cold shooting. 69 is a 2-point shot. That comes from Derrick Jones Jr. He's a 1-58 to make, and he's off. And so Jones, with just 6 points in the game. He does have a couple points here in the third, but he misses on his first field goal attempt in the third. That was a 3. 80, doesn't really matter about that one, but an 80 is going to be a 3-point shot. That comes from Jason Tatum. He's a 1-37 to make. That's a 9, and Jason Tatum finally bangs one home. That's going to be a 3-pointer. That will definitely help the cause. 28 possessions left in the quarter, And a little game score reset. We are at 73-63, so 10-point lead for the Mavs. We're a little less than halfway through the third quarter. We got a 20 here. Those are going to be free throw attempts. That goes to Derek Jones Jr. 71.3 to make. He misses the first, and he makes the second. So Jones misses and then makes. The lead is now 11. Celtics with the ball and a deficit, and they turn it over yet again. 2, 4, 6, 7 turnovers for the Celtics to only 2 for the Mavs. And that's part of what's going on here. And just as I say that, the Mavs throw one away. 25 possessions now left in the quarter. About halfway through the quarter. 28 is going to be free throw attempts. 61 will be free throws to Jason Tatum. He makes the first, and he makes the second. So Tatum with 5 points here in the third. Brings our score to 74-65, 9-point lead for the Mavs. 36 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Max Kleber. Kleba, I think is how you say it, Kleba. 56. He has a 2-point attempt. 57 minus 3 is 54. He's going to miss because of the good defense. Good team defense from Boston. 96, 3-point attempt from the Celtics. That comes from Sam Hauser. He's got the Hauser from downtown. He is going to miss. He's a 1-42 to make. It's a 45, and he's off the mark. Boston looking to heat up at some point. 43 is going to be a 2-point attempt. 62 is Grant Williams. He's a 1-45 to make, and he is going to put it up and in at the basket for a bucket. Our score here with 21 possessions left is 76-65. Dallas over Boston. This is a 9. A 9 is going to be another turnover, so turnover number 8 for the Celtics. We're in quarter number 3. This is game 3. Dallas looking to fight back. They're down 2 games to nothing. A 93 is a 3-ball. That comes from Kyrie Irving. He's a 1-38 to make. And it's a 38.2. He makes it a 38.1. Oh my gosh, there's your percentile die right there. Oh man. Ooh. It bounces up. It bounces all around. It comes right off the rim. And that's a tough one to miss, as he came within 0.1 of making the 3. 51 is going to be a 2-point shot. That will be from Drew Holiday. He's a 1-52. And Drew Holiday puts in his first bucket of the third quarter. 67-76. So 9-point lead for the Mavs. 34 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Max Kleber. 56. He goes back down to a 54.4. So 56 is another miss as he gets around the rim and he can't put it in. Good defense from Boston. And Boston comes back with another turnover. Turnover number 9 for the Celtics. And that is going to be the name of the game as they give up possession after possession. 48 is going to be an and one. That will be Tim Hardaway Jr. with the bucket. So we'll give him the auto bucket. He has to shoot for the free throw. 85.2 to make. And he completes the 3-point play. That stretches the lead to 79-67. 12-point lead for the Mavs as Boston needs some help here to get into this one. This is a 3-ball from Derek White. White is a 39.6% shooter. He misses the 3. And just nothing going down here in the third quarter for the Celtics. Dallas back down the floor with the ball. 67 is going to be a 2-ball. That is Kyrie Irving 1 to 51 to make, and he's going to be off the mark with the jumper. He's missed more than he's made here, but he's got 13 for the game. 83 is going to be another 3-ball. This comes from Derek White again, 39.6 to make, and this time Derek White is true. Just keep shooting, young man, and you will put it in. So Derek White, good 3-point shooter, and he cuts the lead to 9 points. 79-70 is our score as we are rounding the corner at the end of this third period. It's a 62. 62 is a 2-pointer. That's going to come from Luka Doncic. He's a 1 to 54 to make, and Luka is good. He's got 4 in the quarter. He's got 12, 14, 16 for the game. The Mavs push past 80 in this one, and the Celtics with the ball. 11 possessions left in the quarter. A 30 is going to be free throw attempts. That goes to Jason Tatum. Excellent free throw shooter. He makes the first, and he makes the second. Dallas with the ball. 22 is going to be free throws for the Mavs. A 90 will be Derek Jones Jr. to the line. 71.3 is his percentage, as he makes both from the line. When you do free throws in this game, everything is two free throws, so just give them 2 shots, no 1-and-1, at least without modifying the game a little bit. 46, that's going to be an M1, and a 93 is going to be Luke Cornett. As he is under the basket, he gets his first opportunity here in the second half. He puts it up and in for the traditional 3-point play, and that's a big help to the Celtics, who've cut the lead to 8. So I think the lead is ballooned to as much as 16 in this game, but back down to 8. Let's see, they're in striking distance right now. This will be a 2-point shot. That goes to Grant Williams. Williams is a 45 to make, and he's going to be off the mark. Just 1 bucket here in the third. He's got 7 for the game. 9 for the game. 78 will be a 3-ball for the Celtics. That's going to come from Sam Hauser again. He's a 1 to 42 to make, and he is way off the mark as he misses from downtown. He's 0 for 2 in the quarter from 3. Boston can't buy a bucket, but they're still in this one. The lead is less than 10. A 56 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Kyrie Irving. He's a 1 to 51 to make, and he is true on the jumper, as Kyrie Irving having a big third quarter. He's got 6 in the quarter. He's got 13 for the game. A 90 is a 3-ball for the Celtics. That comes from Sam Hauser again. And Sam Hauser, the howitzer from downtown with the 3-ball. Just keep shooting. They'll go in. The lead is now 78. 83-78. So 5 points is the lead. I feel like maybe I missed a bucket in there. I'm not sure if I did or not. 33 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from... No. Oh, gosh. They're like fish. They just jump out of your hand. All right. Dallas with the lead. 34 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Kyrie Irving. He's a 1 to 51, and he is going to be off the mark here. 3 possessions left in the third quarter. A 93 is a 3-ball. Is it Hauser again? It is, as Hauser lines one up from the corner. A 14, he's going to be in the money again, as he's 2 for 4 now in the quarter. And don't look now, but Boston is right back in this one. The score is 83-81. The Celtics just won't go away, and the Mavs just can't put them away. A 16 is going to be, right into the free throws. Ooh, that was almost a turnover. 99 will be free throws to Max Kleba. He's a pretty good shooter, 70%. He makes the first, and he makes the second. So he's got his first 2 of the game. Pushes the lead back out to 4 points. And this is the last shot of the third quarter. 68 is going to be a 3-ball. Let's see if Boston hits. That's a 24. 24 is going to be Derek White from 3, 39.6. And it's a 38.8. Look at that. Derek White at the buzzer lets it rock. And that is going to give us a game. It's 85-84 tentatively. Let me figure out the score here just to make sure. So we got 2-0. Only 3 points for Pritchard. 6 in the quarter for White. He's got 14. 6 in the quarter for Hauser. He's got 14 as well. 2-0. 3-5. 7 in the quarter for Jason Tatum. He's at 22 for the game. And there's just 1 there and just 3. So 8, so 12, 14, 16, 23, 24, 27. A respectable quarter for the Celtics. 27 plus I did mark it there. 27 plus 57 is 77.84. So that's true. Good job, Brian. This is the one where I might have missed one. 4, 2, 4, 6, 3, 2, 4, 5, 2. All right, so 8, 14, 17, 22, 24, 26 for the Mavs. And 26, they had 61 at the half. I don't think I marked that. So 61 at the half plus 26 is 87. Okay, so I did miss one. I thought that I missed one in there somewhere. So the lead is 87-84. 3-point lead for the Mavs. The Celtics had the last shot, so the Mavs are going to come out in the third or the fourth. Got a barn burner here in game number 3. Boston trails by 3. And let's see who comes out and takes control of the game. A 47 is going to be a 2-point shot. And a 68, that'll go to Derek Lively. Lively is going to be true as he puts it up and in. He hasn't scored a lot, just his 4th point. But he gives the Mavs a little breathing room here as the lead stretches out to 5. 51 is going to be a 2-point shot for the Celtics. 93 is Luke Cornett to the with the little hook shot in the lane. That'll be up and in. And Cornett with 6, 9, 11 points now. That's a nice game off the bench for him. Mavericks back down the floor. They're going to jack up a 3. This is an 89. 89 is PJ Washington. He's a 1-28 to make, and he is off the mark. Not the best shot selection. And Boston with the ball. 31 is going to be a 2-point attempt. That comes from Porzingis. He's a 60.6, and Porzingis with the 12-footer knocks it in and cuts into the lead. The lead is now 89-88 as Boston is smelling blood. 61 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from 94. That's PJ Washington again. 42, PJ Washington puts it up and in as he has a little up and under move, and he puts it in at the rack. 91-88 is the lead for the Mavs. 79 is going to be a 3-point shot for, who is that? Drew Holiday. 42.9 to make, and it's a 43.0. That's tough. That's tough. Woo. All right. It's on now. And Dallas with a 9, a rare turnover. Only turnover number 4 for the Mavs in this one. And Boston back with the ball and a chance to get back into a 3-ball. This comes from Peyton Pritchard, 38.5% to make, and he is off the mark as well. So both point guards take a shot at it, and neither can make. And it's going to be another turnover. The Mavs just keeping them in the game here in the 4th as things are falling apart for Dallas. 66 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Jason Tatum. Oh, sorry, Jaylen Brown. He's a 157. And Jaylen Brown puts it up and in at the rim. And that is going to cut into the lead. 91-90 is our score. 39 possessions left in this game. Dallas trying to hang on, and the Celtics trying to put a death grip on this series. 68 is going to be a 2-pointer. That comes from Tim Hardaway. 57 is going to be no good as Hardaway misses. And this is the absolute wrong time for the Mavs to go cold as they are at home. But Boston helps them out with their 10th turnover. 37 possessions left in this one. Dallas with the ball. A 16 is just avoiding the turnover. And a 41 will be shots for Luka. 78.6. He misses the first and misses the second. Oh my gosh. What is happening? Did somebody come and put a lid on the rim for those are 2 misses. Oh man. 2 misses from the line. He's a 78, almost 79% free throw shooter. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. We got a run. So a 0-2 is a run for the Celtics. This is their first run of the game. Let's see what it is. It is a 79, and a 79 is a 10-2 run for Boston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 2 for the Mavs. And let's see about that scoring run. A 79. So a 10-2 run, a 79 is going to be a 3-ball for the point guard. Couple of makes at the free throw line for the shooting guard. Tatum with a 3. And then we have a center with a bucket. And then the center for Dallas was the 1 bucket. So Lively with a 2-pointer. And we're going to get a 3-ball for the point guard. We're going to get 2 free throws for the shooting guard. Three for Tatum. Or, sorry, Jaylen Brown. Nothing for Tatum, and then 2 points for Horford. Horford's eerily silent in this one. Those are his first 2 points of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Takes us down to 30 possessions left. Oh, how the tables have turned. It's now 193, a 7-point lead for the Celtics after that 10-2 run. 17 is going to be free throws for the Mavs. That goes to Luka. He makes the first, and he misses the second. So Doncic trying to step up his game here. Gets to the line, but he only makes 1 of 2. 29 possessions left in this one. Boston with the ball and another run. Oh my gosh. Boston smelling it. A 48 is going to be a 9-2 run. And this one is getting rough. 21 is going to be here. So 3-point play for the shooting guard. A bucket and a 3 for Jaylen Brown. And then 1 of 2 for Horford. So 21 on a 9-2 run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 2 here. So for the defense, it's going to be 2 points for the power forward Williams. And for the offense, it'll be a 3-point play for Derek White. And it'll be a 2 and a 3 for Jaylen Brown. He's got 10 points in the fourth and is basically just taken over. And 1 of 2 from the line for Horford. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're down to 23 possessions left in this one. And the score is 109-96. Oh, how the tables have turned. 36, 2-point attempt. And that's going to be from Luka. He's a 1 to 54. And he's going to be off the mark, as Dallas just not able to do much of anything in this fourth quarter, falling apart at home. 48 is going to be that's an and one. That goes to Jason Tatum. So Tatum with the bucket. He'll shoot for the free throw. It's a 63. That's going to be up and in. That's a 3-point play for Jason Tatum. The lead now 112-96. 16-point lead for Boston. A 64 is going to be a 2-pointer. That goes to Luka. He's a 1 to 54, and Luka is off the mark again, as this one is getting a little difficult for the home crowd to watch. A 71 is a 3-ball. That comes from 58. So that's Al Horford stepping out for 3, and Al Horford makes his presence known with a 3-ball from the top of the key, and the route is on in this one. Getting toward the end of the fourth quarter, it is a 3-point shot for the Mavs. 66 is going to be a 3-ball from Grant Williams. He is a 34.6 to make. It's a 33, and Williams trying to stick it in there and keep him in the game. The score is 115-99, 16-point lead for the Celtics. They also had the ball. 46 is another and one. This comes from Al Horford down low. And 77 is going to be good, so he puts in the 3-point play. So Horford just waited till the fourth quarter to show up, as he's got 3, 6, 8, 9 points in the fourth. 39 is going to be a 2-point shot for the Mavs. 45, that will be Kyrie taking the shot. A 20 is going to be up and in. He gets to the rim and puts it down for 2. The Mavs cross the century mark. Probably too little too late. We'll see. 54 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Jason Tatum. Tatum is a 1 to 54 to make, and he's off the mark. He's got 3 in the fourth quarter. But really it's been Brown and Horford here in the fourth, and a couple of scoring runs. A 6 is going to be a turnover to the Mavs, and they really just can't get it together, as they have lost control of this one. 74 is a 3-ball for the Celtics. The 28 will be Jaylen Brown from downtown, and he's going to miss. His first missed field goal of the fourth quarter. We have 13 possessions left in this one. The lead is 17 for the Celtics. The Mavericks trying to get back into this one. They step back and take a 3. That'll be a 3-ball from PJ Washington. He's a 1 to 28, and not the best person to be shooting threes, but that's who they got, and he misses. 38 is going to be a 2-point shot. That comes from Jason Tatum, a 1 to 54. And Jason Tatum is true. He's got 5 in the fourth quarter. And the lead now, 19 points for the Celtics. A 97 3-ball. That comes from Luka. 35.2 after the adjustment. And Luka is off the mark. Wouldn't have mattered with or without the adjustment. And Luka has gone cold in this one. A 0-0-9, at least a little bit of a break. Turnover number 11 for the Celtics. You can tell there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 right here on the top, and so kind of easy to keep track of those. 17 is going to be free throws to the Mavericks coming back down the floor. 91 is to PJ Washington. Not a great free throw shooter, but he makes the first and he makes the second. So PJ Washington fights the odds, puts in two free throws. And the score is now 120-103, 17-point lead for Boston with only 8 possessions left in this one. Even with the scoring run, Dallas wouldn't be in the game. Free throws go to Porzingis. He makes the first. He's an 85.8% free throw shooter. He makes the second. And in this one, it's 122-103. Dallas with the ball. A 12 is going to be another turnover. And all of the bad plays are just coming at the wrong time for Dallas as they took a lead into every quarter. They're just losing it here. This is a 3-ball. That comes from Drew Holiday. He's a 42.9 and he's off the mark. And that brings up Dallas back down the floor. 15 is another turnover. Turnover number 8 for the Mavs. They average, 11%, 15% turnover rate. So a 6 is going to be a turnover to the Celtics. Nobody could quite hold on to the ball, so they put a little slickum on the ball. 57 is going to be a 2-pointer. That goes to Dante Exum. Exum with the miss on the 2. And there were a lot of misses in this fourth quarter for the Mavs as there was a barrage of points from the Celtics and they had no answers. 90.9 3-ball. That comes from Jaylen Brown, 35.4% to make, and he is off the mark. So Jaylen Brown misses his second 3-pointer. We got 1 possession left in this game, and the Celtics are going to win, but let's see. We got free throws. That goes to Tim Hardaway Jr. He makes the first, and he makes the second. Barely, though, as he rolls a couple in around the toilet bowl. And that's going to be 2 more points just to make it respectable. And our tentative score at the end of this one is 122-105. And we're going to have to count up these points to make sure that we are right. So there's 3, 2, 4, 5, 0, 5, 10. Jaylen Brown started hot, but couldn't complete. That's a 5, 4, 6, 8, 9 for Horford, and 2. So 8, 18, 23, 27, 36, 38. What a quarter. 38 plus 84, so that's 114, 122. That's correct. And 122 our total here. And let's see here. We got 1 point for Luka Doncic in the fourth. And the Mavericks offense fell apart in the fourth quarter as they have a 3, 5, 10, 12, 16-point fourth quarter. And that is not how you win championships. So it's going to be 97 plus 6. $103. Is it 103? 16 points, right? So 97 plus 3 plus 3. So 103 is the final there. Somehow I gave them more points. 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 1. Yeah, I must have given them more points somewhere along the way. So the score is actually 122-103. A 19-point victory on the road as the Boston Celtics clamped down. And this was the reason right here. So back-to-back 10-2 and 9-2 runs. So what is that? 29-4 is the run in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. And that's pretty much going to sink everybody, as they have a tremendous fourth quarter and they take a 3-0 lead. We'll see if that's actually what happens. Let me go through and check out the field goal percentages here. All right, and back with the totals here. So this is 16. 122-103. Boston wins this one on the road. They shot 57%. Their 2-point percentage is 57.5. So they shot in the 60s in this game. They had to have shot in the 60s because they shot 44% from the 3-point line, 14 of 32. So it was a good game for them, especially the fourth quarter here. They hit 4 3-pointers in the fourth quarter, including a couple of 3-point plays, actually 3 3-point plays, so you can almost count those as 3-pointers. Sorry, I didn't total up everybody's points here. Let me do that real quick. All right, so we got the totals now. It's going to be 12 points per Drew Holiday. Derek White with 19. 14 points off the bench for Sam Hauser. He was 2 of 4, 3 out of 7 from the 3-point line, so good shooting for him. Jaylen Brown with 18 points, 10 in the fourth quarter. 29, that's a game high. 29 points for Jason Tatum, as he put in 5 in the fourth, but had a big first half, 17 in the first half. Porzingis with 7. Horford put in 9, all in the fourth quarter, and a really good game for Luke Cornett, who had some consistent scoring throughout for the Celtics as well. For the Mavs, it's 17 points for Luka. He only had 1 point in the fourth, only 5 points in the second half. That was pretty disappointing second half for him. Exum had 7, 15 for Kyrie Irving, who also was off to a good start with 7. Had actually 13 through the first 3 quarters and just 2 points in the fourth. 9 for Josh Green. Derek Jones, not Derek Jones, Tim Hardaway with 13, and 14 points for Grant Williams. Lively, only 6 points. PJ Washington off the bench with 11 points, and Kleba with 2. So Boston takes a 3-0 lead. The Mavs shot 52% from the field and 8 of 25 from the 3-point line, so a little bit under their 3-point percentage of 36.9. So just went cold, especially here in the fourth quarter. You can see not much happening here. A 16-point fourth quarter against a 38-point fourth quarter for Boston is never going to cut it. But 2 38-point quarters, you can see the explosiveness of the Boston offense. The first one got them back into the game. The second one pushed them ahead. So 3-0 is our score. Again, we're playing this sort of straight up as a traditional tabletop basketball game where you roll for each of the different shots. And basically, it's just anything that says a 2-point attempt that's not an M1. You just take you figure out the 2-point percentage and you shoot. I was playing with the team defense, not with each individual defender, but you could also look at each individual defender. They all have their own individual defensive ratings. So basically, let's say Derek White is taking the shot. You would look at the shooting guards here. You would roll to see 1 to 57. It would be Kyrie Irving. 58 to 100. It'd be Josh Green defending. And then basically you just take their number. But it's definitely possible if Josh Green is guarding you, Derek White would go from 55.5% to 57.5%. So Green, a worse defender than Kyrie, who would only give you a +1 boost. But some players, like if Lively is on you, he's a -3, so he would subtract 3. So Horford would go from a 65.8 to a 62.8. So you can play that way too, and you just kind of figure out who is on who, and then individually you can figure out the different matchups. I like to play the team defense, just kind of easier in my head to deal with, and defense in basketball is always team defense for the most part. Unless you're playing back in the 80s or the 90s where there was a lot of one-on-one, man-to-man kind of stuff, and then it makes more sense to do that. But nowadays, they play whatever they want. They play some man, they play some man zone, they play some just straight-up zone. So it's really more of like a college team defense-oriented style in the NBA. But for all that, they can't stop anybody. I mean, these shooting percentages are off the charts. Almost 58% they shoot from the two-point line or from inside three. And all the teams are shooting over 35% from three. Is ridiculous. And they just don't miss very much, honestly. They don't turn the ball over. They don't miss. And they just score a lot of points. I mean, Boston is at 120.6 points per game. The Mavericks are under, what they scored in the season, 117.9, but they're averaging 120 a game. I mean, that's like ridiculous numbers in terms of scoring. And again, these are two of the top teams in the league. If you had, we have the Nuggets here too, but you can see them as well. They're a 1-3, but the Pistons, they're quite a bit worse. Shooting 2-point shots. They're worse at shooting free throws. Their run number is only a 1. They don't shoot threes as much either, so you got to get to 75 for them to shoot a 3. You got to get to 67 for the Celtics to shoot a 3. So, different types of teams. You got the Nuggets here. They shoot a lot more 2s as well, so you got to get to 76 before you shoot a 3 there. They're more of an inside team. And score 114 a game. But even the Pistons are at 110 a game. And they're not a very good team. They only won 14 games. So, it's just one of those things where it's a high-scoring affair, exciting basketball. And we saw a really good game here, 122-103. If you want to purchase this season, it's available now at clarkaddisongaming.com. Again, I'll put the link down in the description straight to the Uptempo basketball page where you can see all of the free resources that I have. You can download the game guide and see what the game's about. You can look for on YouTube for Uptempo Basketball. There's one guy, Max's Cards and Dice. He's replaying an ABA season from 74-75. There's a couple of ABA seasons that are available on the website, and then the rest are NBA seasons at this point. But anything from 1979 all the way to today. So the last two or three NBA seasons are on there, plus some seasons from the 2000 teens, the 2000 aughts. There are a couple seasons from the 90s, so really good Bulls teams from the 90s, or the Pistons, that 89-90 season. There's a couple other seasons from the 80s, 82, 83, and 85, 86. So if you're a big Celtic fan, that was a championship year for them. 82, 83, I think, was Philadelphia, who won the championship that year. And Dr. J's in that set, and Moses Malone, and some really great. That was a really great crossover year where some of the ABA players were really standing in and stepping in and still playing in the NBA. And so that was kind of a cool set. Same thing with the 79-80. You get some crossover there with some of those ABA players who would come over as well. So you get your George Gervins and Rick Barry and players like that. So kind of fun to play. Fun to see how the game has changed over the years as well. So go there, pick it up. Each season is $17, and you get all the teams from that season. Plus, just like here, you can see you get 10 players. So the top 10 players, and that's a little bit subjective. I have to really go through their depth charts. It's a little bit harder these days because they don't have clear definitions of who's playing, and they just play anybody anywhere. And so it's a little bit more difficult these days to kind of decide who's gotten a lot of playing time. If it's a terrible team and they've traded away their whole team, now you got half and half. Players where they had there half the season and they got half the numbers, so it's kind of hard to tell who is the one who got the most playing time. So I do my best with that. If you see anything that is egregious, please let me know. But sometimes I'm really going by playing time. I'm going by their depth charts and playing time at Basketball Reference. So that's mostly what I go by. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments about this game in particular, or comments about the series that's going on right now, or comments about Uptempo Basketball in general, I'm playing with the pace. And because I'm taking each shot, I'm extending the pace to include, normally you would take the average and divide it by 3, and then you would play with all the automatic 2s and the automatic 3s and stuff like that. But when you're going to shoot for every shot, you should only divide by 2, and then that'll give you how many possessions per quarter. Otherwise, you would need to cut that down. It needs to be around 40-ish, 30s, in the 30s and 40s if you're going to do the automated 2-pointers and 3-pointers. You'll wind up with a 160-point game if you don't, especially if you have good teams that can get into the scoring runs. So, all right, I think that's it from here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, but you keep coming back, just go ahead and click subscribe. And then when you go to your subscriptions in YouTube, you'll see all the videos as they come posted. I'm working on Play Action Football. I'm working on, obviously, Uptempo Basketball just released. Still working on Precision Baseball. That's going to be coming out sometime pretty soon. Just got to do a little bit of marketing creation, marketing materials and logos and stuff like that for that game because it's a brand new game, and finish out the game guide for that as well. And yeah, I think that's it. This score sheet has been updated just a little bit. So I'll need to put that onto the free resources and update that score sheet as well. What's different is I've just delineated the lines a little bit more clearly, and I put in these turnover boxes. I found myself putting turnovers in the notes box up here, and it maybe is easier to just tick off turnovers and to see that. It feels easier to me. So we'll do that as well. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.